So we are now into the finals, and the first race is Mini X30. And that would be race number 23 on your programme. Pole position will be the number 87 Fusion Motorsport kart of current championship leader Vinnie Phillips. And alongside Vinnie on the front row, the number 10 Mad Croc Promotions entry of Gabriel Stilp. On row number 2, we have Leo Robinson, the Anglo-Algerian driver in kart number 37 for Fusion Motorsport, and Ella Stevens, another Fusion driver. On row number 3, the GP plate holder Ethan Simmons, and privateer driver on a Mad Croc kart, Rylan Eschberg.
Charlie Webb is going to be on the 4th row with Jack Hobson just alongside Hayden Eldridge. In the 5th row with Wesley Swain. Running at the end of the field, Freddie Allen. And then it's Joseph Rippin, Lewis Bird, and Anastasia Dean.
So these races, 15 minutes plus 1 lap. The Mini X30 racing so far has been absolutely superb. And I'm sure that has all just been a lead up to this, the main course. This is the entree. We've had the starters. We've had the little wine break after the starters to cleanse the palate.
Even the little bread with the butter.
Oh, we buttered the bread in the pre-final, and now it's time to tuck in to a big juicy steak. Not quite yet, because do you know what? These Mini X30 drivers, I was in the rhythm there. My flow, my food analogy about the main course was timed to perfection as they crossed the start line, but then they were out of formation. And we're on another rolling lap, Anthony.
It was. The steak has gone back to the kitchen to be
spat on by the chef.
I really don't hope that doesn't happen.
Oh, hang on. Sorry. I've just seen Jordan Baines running around because he heard the word steak over the loudspeaker. No, he's so the mechanics. The mechanics from all these karts, they go off the dummy grid. You see them all running to the back, and then they make it out to the grandstand here, so they can all stand there and watch and sort of point and shout at each other as their drivers go around for 15 minutes. So here we go. For the second time of asking, Vinnie Phillips leads them to the line. Now lights are out, and now we are off and racing down towards turn number 1. It's a good start on the outside of Gabriel Stilp. What a start by Gabriel Stilp. Like a greased up whippet, he went off there and went round the outside into the race lead. Now, how long can he hold on? So that's one lead change. In one corner, Vinnie Phillips second, and that's Leo Robinson third. Ethan Simmons is a good start in 4th place. And, well, for the first time, Gabriel Stilp is not the only Mad Croc kart at the front of the field, because Rylan Eschberg in kart number 73 is there in 5th position.
Indeed, he is. So, like you say, 15 minutes these races, so the longest that we've seen all day. And, of course, the last race that these tyres are going to have to do as well. They've been abused all weekend, and now this is where we're going to see who's looked after them the most. Down the inside, there's another change for the lead, the 87.
Two changes of position. I'll keep count until I run out of fingers and toes.
Yeah, exactly. So we're 2 in. Vinnie Phillips now leads the way under pressure. Stilp again, the GP plate round the outside. Simmons tries to go for 2nd place, can't quite do it this time. That's allowed the 2 at the front to break away. So it's Phillips from Stilp, then it's the GP plate of Simmons, Robinson, Etchberg, Webb, Stevens, Eldridge, Hobson and Swain. They're your top 10 as we go through. 13 minutes, 14 seconds left on the clock. And there's goes Stilp down the inside, and it's 3 changes for the lead. The GP plate here, 3 wide as they go onto the start-finish straight. This is more like a final lap, not the first couple of laps.
I know, but here comes Vinnie Phillips. That's 4, back to the race lead. Still back to the 2nd place, but so at Rower we had a 3-kart scrap virtually the whole day for the race lead. Things are getting even more competitive here at Kimbolton. We have got a lead group of virtually every driver in the field. In fact, there's 14 drivers in the field, and there's 14 drivers in this lead battle.
There is indeed as they go through here. Great camera work there as the karts sweep through that final section as we go down the TKM straight now into this final complex of corners. As you see there, it's just staying in one single file apart from some of the drivers at the back. The 37 looking a little bit racy there. Leo Robinson defending slightly from the driver behind of Rylan Etchberg. And as the rest of the field go through, there's 12.5 minutes left on the clock. Still plenty of time for some more overtakes.
Yes, exactly. So we've got Phillips, Stilp, Simeon. It's Ethan Simmons. I keep wanting to call him Ethan Simeons. But it's Ethan Simmons in third, the GP plate holder. Then it is Leo Robinson, Ashberg, Webb up into 6th position. Good drive so far from Charlie Webb. Ella Stevens down to 7th. Jack Hobson in 8th. Then it's Eldridge 9th, Swain 10th, Rippin 11th, Bird 12th, Allen 13th, and Dean in 14th place. Good to see that Anastasia Dean's Kart is out there again, because that took an awful knock in the pre-final, going over the tyres at turn number 1. Luckily, there was a second barrier there before you got into the paddock. But no, through Stowe Corner, start of lap number 5, and it's still championship leader Vinnie Phillips with the race lead. And now this is where we're going to have maybe a little bit of a period of relative calm as we sort of whittle down that lead group. From at the moment, there's 11, I'd say 11 or 12 karts. No, 12 karts in that league. Let's count them: 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, 12 karts in this lead group as Leo Robinson gets a warning flag. Before we get, there's a couple of gaps there towards the back of the field. If we have a couple of laps of calm now, that number from 12 will sort of gradually get sort of siphoned down a little bit until the real players remain. At the moment, it's the 3 likely candidates from Rowra holding the top 3 positions, and Ethan Simmons in 4th place. He's been very, very quick in the heats. This is where he needs to be quick, and at the moment he hasn't got an answer for the top 3 as Robinson goes in on stilt for 2nd.
Yep, that's a great little move there from the inside. As we look now, the 87, Vinnie Phillips, opening up that gap ever so slightly. The top 3 still fairly close out there. Now, thinking this, Ella Stevens is down 2 positions, down into 6th place at the moment, and of course we know that Ella is quick out there and usually up at the sharp end, so to see Ellie down there, I suspect we'll get that back up sorted in just a moment. But,
yeah, Charlie Webb then making a move in 7th position.
Yeah,
and that's a good move from Charlie Webb, but the problem is there's a good move from Charlie Webb on Jack Hobson, but they're 7th and 8th. And at the moment, okay, they're in the lead group. If they start overtaking each other because they're thinking, oh, I want to get there, they're going to fall away from that lead group. So the drivers at the back of this pack here, who aren't normally featured in the battles for wins, they've got to be very sensible now, because they can race themselves out of a chance of a podium, because Mini X30 this year, you just know that there is going to be an incredible battle for the race lead. Okay, Phillips, Robinson and Stilp, they're not battling side by side at the moment, but they will. And, you've seen, if you're within a couple of seconds of the leaders when they do start battling, you've got a chance for a win. If you're not, you don't.
No, exactly that. And we saw earlier on as well in the race these two coming together, a bit of contact that we saw.
Oh yes, they might be out the same morning, but there's all bets are off.
Yes, well, like I say, I wonder if the team had a little bit of a chat with them to say, don't do that again.
I would think that there was probably a little bit of a reminder of how working together as your team and not defending and trying to make sudden moves is better. There goes Ella Stevens to the inside of Ethan Simmons for 4th position.
Yep, nice little move there. Still all on his own.
Yep,
in third place
position, and he's just going to be hanging on. And I have to say, the 2 leaders, Phillips and Robinson, there's only a tenth of a second between them, but they've now got 0.8 of a second over Gabriel, and still looking over his shoulder. Now that is not through nerves or anything like that, or worrying about what's behind him. He's almost thinking, right, I need somebody to catch me so that we can work together, because on his own, 8 wheels working as one at the front is faster than 4 wheels working on their own.
Yeah, so if he can try and, he doesn't really want to close that gap to the guys behind, because then he's far too far behind, and yes, it's a bigger group, but then you've just got that pressure of them trying to go for a move. So yeah, he's in a bit of a no man's land at the moment,
between a rock and a hard place.
Yes.
But what he's going to be hoping, he's going to be saying, come on behind, come on Simmons, work with Ella to get up to the front. Hobson is right there, so Jack Hobson having a very strong run in kart number 14. Ryan Ashberg in the number 73 is still there in 7th place, and it's Charlie Webb in 8th. Wes Swain is 9th, so we're down to 8 now, effectively, because there's a gap behind Webb in the number 24 car in 8th, and Swain in the number 92 car in 9th. And then there's a gap to Lewis Bird in 10th. So we started off with 12 in this sort of lead group, potential winners. Now we're down to 8 on lap number 10. So the onus is on Webb and Ashberg. There they are, they're nose-tail. Then you've got the Wes Swain kart in 92, sort of hanging on a little bit, but the onus is on Webb and Ashberg to work together to keep themselves in touch with this group, because this group are trying to catch the leaders. But I have to say, the leaders are now 1.5 seconds up the road. The two Fusion drivers have, well, they've stolen a march on the rest of the field, and Robinson in second place sets a new fastest lap. And because Robinson is pushing his teammates along, guarantee that Vinnie Phillips' lap time is almost identical to Robinson, because Robinson is physically pushing him along.
Well, Robinson is slightly faster. Robinson's done a 43.19. Phillips last time around 43.25. So not a lot still, barely anything. But there is still a difference between the two times.
And the significant thing is Stilp is doing a 43.6.
Yes.
0.4 of a second slower with no slipstream to work with and no one pushing him on behind.
Right. Ella Stevens behind those doing a 43.3. So that
help is en route.
Help is on the way in the form of a rival team.
Yes, but friends, they can be the best of frenemies for the that's a good word, the best of frenemies with 6 minutes to go. It doesn't matter what colour the karts are, you can work together. And I think that Stilp, there he goes, he's about to receive a little nudge from behind and say, right, the cavalry have arrived, let's get our heads down and go. But there's a 2-second gap to bridge before you get to Phillips and Robinson. And you can see Phillips looking over his shoulder. Now Robinson, how long will Leo Robinson want to stay there? We're on lap number 13 now, 6 minutes to go, so we're just past the halfway point. It's taken a half the race to get a 2-second lead over everybody else. Here comes Stevens with Simmons right behind her, and Stilp sort of moves back to 5th position. Oh, no, Stilp got a problem there. That's a bit of a strange one, actually, for Gabriel Stilp, because he wasn't going to defend, because that'll hold him up, but he's still there in, now he's going to get passed by Hobson. And Gabriel Stilp doesn't want to drop too far back. He wants really to be right on the rear bumper of the GP plate, so that the three of them, Stevens, Simmons and himself, can work together, but he's actually dropped back quite a way. I wonder if there's a problem with that number 10 kart.
Well, he's still going strong there. Still got the main pack just behind him.
Well, he's let Ryan Ashberg through as well, actually, and Charlie Webb.
Yeah, he has dropped back quite a way, actually.
Looking as they go down the Amitsu straight, I'm not convinced that number 10 kart can get up to full speed. I think that when through the corners he's okay. Let's have a little look now as a visual as they come onto the straight. He's right behind Ashberg as he comes onto the straight. Let's see, and he's fiddling around with the sticks in there. Maybe there's a spark plug coming loose. No, he's all right down that straight. Maybe that was just he was having a little lap off.
Yeah.
Which of course you can't do.
No, you can't do.
No, but now he's trying to make the moves again. So he's dropped back from 3rd. He's signalling to the pits as he went past there, as though all is not well. So we'll see what happens. But the leaders, the two leaders, 2.7 seconds in front of Ella Stevens and Ethan Simmons.
Now, Ethan Simmons has actually received 2 warning flags so far in this race, so he's on very thin ice with the stewards at the moment. So to be very careful at the moment. 4.5 minutes left on the clock then. The front two here, Vinnie Phillips, Leo Robinson, absolutely nose to tail, leaving the main pack behind. And then you've got the 2 behind as well, Ella Stevens and Ethan Simmons. Of course, Ethan, like we say, on those 2 warnings at the moment. And then we've got this big group of karts as they swoop through. Jack Hobson, Charlie Webb.
And if you look here now as we go through, there's the gap between the 73, the second of the Mad Croc karting screen, and Gabriel Stilp in the number 10 kart. So Stilp cannot even stay on pace with the 2 drivers running in 6th and 7th place. So Stilp is back to 8th. He's about to be caught by Wes Swain in number 92 in 9th position. So I surmise that, I'm not saying that croc needs to be put down, but it certainly needs a bit of medication.
I think you are right there. Yeah, it looks like a poorly croc at the moment, doesn't it? So needs to go see the dentist.
He's not a bad croc, he's a bad croc.
No.
Yes, he's the dentist, yes indeed. But hopefully not for an extraction.
Yes.
Maybe just a filling.
Yes. 3 minutes left though.
3 minutes to go. I think it's safe to say that the top 2 have had that breakaway. So it's not a walkover by any stretch, because Phillips and Robinson are nose to tail. Stevens and Simmons are working together still. They're pushing on as much as they can, living in hope rather than expectation now that they can catch the 2 leaders. It all depends when Robinson makes his move.
I suspect it's when Phillips and Robinson start to battle. The 2 behind, Ella Stevens and Ethan Simmons, they won't start battling when they see that. They will still keep working together. They'll close that gap, and then they'll pounce, and then we'll have a 4-way battle. he says.
Yeah, well, yeah, in theory, that's hopefully good. But of course, if Robinson waits to the last corner,
Yeah,
then their goose is cooked.
it is.
But I got a feeling that Robinson, we had 4 changes of lead inside the first 2 laps. And then it has been Vinnie Phillips all the way since then. We're now on lap number 18, out of Derricks, into Dan Weldon corner. Go, the 28th of Stevens, the GP plate of Simmons, that Coles Racing GP plate, Tony Kart chassis of Ethan Simmons, chasing the Spirit chassis of Ella Stevens. Here are your 2 leaders. They complete lap number 19.
Now you could see there, Phillips actually went defensive for a brief moment, looked behind the shoulder and saw that he wasn't attacking.
And the gap is 3.16 seconds. Let's remember that number.
Yeah.
That's like 3:16. Austin 3:16 says, if I get there, I'm going to whoop you know what.
Yes.
Bottom. Paraphrased.
Yes.
Yes.
1.5 minutes left on the clock.
1.5 minutes to go. 3.14 seconds. No, I'm trying to cut off the Steve Austin references there.
Yes.
Oh dear. But we haven't seen Phillips defend again this lap.
No.
So it was maybe sort of like a semi-defence into the first corner. Will we see that again?
Well, again, look over the shoulder.
Yep, there it is.
Seeing where it is.
And again.
He has gone defensive.
Yep.
He's kind of placed that car in the middle of the track there, hasn't he? So, again, let's see what it was there.
It hasn't, yeah, 3.38 seconds. So while this is going on, Stevens and Simmons are starting to squabble, but
oh, it's 3.1 now.
Oh, we're closing back in here. Webb is behind these 2. There is Webb in the number 24 car in 5th place. Hobson in 6th. Ashberg in 7th. Bird 8th. Swain 9th. Eldridge 10th. Stilp out there in 11th place, but with a sick cart. And then Rippin in 12th. Allen in 13th, and Anastasia Dean in 14th place. So you can see Simmons still pushing Stevens along, and they lose a bit more ground. The gap is, they gain it again. 25 seconds to go. The gap 2.8 seconds. Phillips defends a bit more.
Yeah, very close up between these two. The last lap board will be out this time. They will know it. This is where we start to see defensive moves. There you go.
Game on.
It is. Ring the bell. Here we go.
Yes.
Now, 6 seconds left. The timer will clock to 0 this time. So, Vinnie Phillips leading the way from Leo Robinson as they go through onto the TKM straight. Big look over the shoulders to see where he is. Now you can see that sweeping back to the outside because you can see that Robinson was trying to go for that faster line. Again here, going to the faster line. Phillips going defensive, trying to get that switchback move, can't do it. The gap now less than 3 seconds. It was 2.7 this time as they cross the line, 2.8. So I can say
it's going to be less than that because Phillips went very, very deep into the first corner.
He did.
And Robinson was on the outside line. Yeah, 2.8 at the moment. That's going to go as we get to the first split. Although Simmons has passed Stevens. That's why it's maintaining above 2 seconds, because Ethan Simmons has got the 3rd place. It's still Phillips leads. The gap 2.3 seconds. Oh, I think they've timed it just about right. It's going to be between Phillips and Robinson as they come down the TKM straight for the last time.
Yep, I'm sure the teammates have had a brief word with, don't take each other out, but again, you can still race. But into the final corner now. There we go, the 37. They did it again. The teammates
did it again.
They hit each other out of the final corner, but they still stay in position. They cross the line. Phillips will take the win from Robinson. Then it's Ethan Simmons cross the lines in 3rd on the GP plate. Ella Stevens in 4th. Charlie Webb crosses the line in 5th. Then it's Jack Hobson, Rylan Etchberg and Lewis Bird, Wesley Swain and Hayden Eldridge are your top 10. Gabriel Stilp will cross the line in 11th place with, like I said, Paulie Kart. And then here is the replay of what happens. So the 37 sweeps to the outside, then changes his mind, goes to the inside and flicks that wheel. Now, is he potentially going to have...
I think that nose cone took a heck of a whack there on the 37 car. But again, it's what we saw in the first race. There we go. They do shake hands, and of course they're still there. I mean, Robinson. That was Simmons shaking hands. They had to give it a go. But again, that was that late change in direction and that lunge from Robinson. It didn't work up at Derrick's corner in the pre-final. It didn't work there. But from his point of view, he's saying, I got to go for it. I have to go for it. There was like half a cart length to the inside. I tried to squeeze my entire cart there. As there they go through. Now there's a bracket behind the nose cone that you can see on the camera that'll be checked as it goes through. I mean, the bracket went up, and I don't want to comment whether that bracket is broken or not because I haven't got the exact angle there. But it was very fortunate. But that's twice in 2 races now. The teammates, and again, it's just because they're so competitive. Luckily, on both occasions, both drivers were able to finish the race. And there's the our technical commissioner, Ernie Salmon, there, casting a watchful over Robinson's kart as they come through. You can see the Algerian flag and the Union flag from the UK on the back of Leo Robinson's helmet. Phillips takes the win.
First of all, we're going to do the leading rookie home in Mini X30. Hopefully he's here, finishing in 10th place overall. Leading rookie was Hayden Eldridge. He was so excited he went home. Now we're on to the leading privateer. The leading privateer in Mini X30, finishing 7th overall, was Rylan Eschberg, who was equally as excited and went home. Now we'll do the top 3. And finishing in 3rd position, please make your way up to the podium, Ethan Simmons. Congratulations, Ethan. We'll do the usual thing. We'll smile for Chris Walker. But I have to say that the top 2, as usual, some fantastic racing between the 2 teammates. Just 0.2 of a second separated them at the end. Finishing in 2nd position, Leo Robinson. Congratulations, Leo. But your winner this season, no matter how the cards fall during the start of the race, when it boils down to the final laps, he always finds his way to the front. Another win for Vinnie Phillips. Now, we'll let Vinnie get his cap on. Good. Trophy. Better. Interview. Ooh, let's see how this goes. First of all, tell us a little bit about the final. Some fantastic battling with your teammates. You actually managed to pull away from the rest. It was just the 2 of you.
Yeah, we both used our heads to try and get away for the championship points and make it a 2-man fight. And then we managed to do that, and it was a one-on-one try to get the win, and I got the win.
I mean, at the start of the race, there was 12 of you in a line. I know that you managed to use your head with Leo to get away, but really, there's 14 karts on the grid, and 12 of them have got race-winning pace. What is that like going into each race, knowing that although you're quick, there's 9 or 10 others that are just as quick?
Yeah, it's a tough race to manage. We managed to have the quick pace in the final, managed to get the win. And Leo was good, happy for the result for us, and everyone else is quite good as well. And I like to thank that DP Danny Paula to come support me for this race.
No problems. Congratulations. Well done, Vinnie Phillips, your Mini X30 winner, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll have Vinnie on his own now. What Leo and Ethan can do is that you can help me out here. If you take that trophy and put it on the floor at the table, and you do that one, that's good. There we go. That's good. Congratulations. There you go, Vinnie. You're allowed to go now, Vinnie. Well done.